Hello, team. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are excited because we're about to start our day two with our revolutionary strategy. Excited because we're about to start our day two with our revolutionary strategy. Let me remove the echo here because there's some echo. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Can you hear any echo? Let me know because, yeah, I think we're good. Are we good? Echo? Any echo? We good? Yeah, I think we're good. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, now, team, how was our first class? Did you enjoy it? Did you get a lot of value from it? Did you learn about carousels, maybe things that you didn't know before? Tell me in the comments what you are what you are thinking about, what got you thinking after that first class. And while you do that, we get ready with our slides. Hey, Chris, I see you. Hey, Elisa. Hey, Heather. All right. So, in our second class, we're going to learn how to build an engaged community of superfans by using your most powerful weapon in your arsenal. And I think a lot of people are going to relate to this a lot. A lot of people are going to really, really like this. And before we get started, let's talk about two things that are going to impact your experience today. So the first thing is the quality of your video. A lot of people were asking me about this. If you are on YouTube, which I believe you are, go to your settings on the YouTube video, and it's probably going to set to like 360p. Try to put it to full HD so that you can see everything in full color, emotion, life, and all of that. Okay, so that's the first thing that's going to impact your experience today. The second thing that's going to impact your experience today is try to make sure that you are fully present in our class, because this class is very, very interactive. It requires you to be thinking about the steps that I'm going to be giving you. I'm going to be giving you a step by step to create something that's going to last for months in your account. So make sure that you have a notebook and a pen, or you have an iPad. I am a pen and paper type of girl, so make sure that you are that you have everything ready for you to write your notes. Okay. Great. I see Alisa saying already trying to implement what I got to know yesterday. Madalena saying definitely helpful. Joe saying, what's up, party people? Love that. Great. So here's what we're going to be seeing today. I think we talked a little bit about introductions, but we're going to do a quick recap from yesterday. Then we're going to talk about your most powerful weapon to create carousels, and then takeaways and next class preview. Okay. All right. So, is the sound okay? I see somebody saying the sound is clicking all the time. The 5 pillars of carousel creation. If you remember the 5 pillars of carousel creation, here they are. The first one is connection, right? So we need to connect with our audience. And to do that, we need to create carousels that differentiate you. We need to create carousels that are going to connect on a deeper level. So what is it that you're going to be sharing? Are you going to be sharing your opinions? Are you going to be sharing your differentials, what you're all about, how you do things, what you believe in? We're going to talk a bit more about that today. Then we go on to conversion-driven carousel structure. If you have a structure that you can use all the time, this means that you are saving time, this means that you are saving energy, and you are guaranteeing much better results in the long term, right? And then content presentation. how you are presenting your content really matters. Not only the writing, but also the visuals. So if you're creating a really poor visual of, a first page of a carousel, people may not read it. People may not read the rest because they think, well, that doesn't really grab my attention, right? Similarly, with the rest of your carousel, the way you're presenting your narrative, the way you're presenting your content genuinely matters, all right? So then we go on to conversation. How are you handling conversations after your carousels? Are people DMing you saying, hey, I'd like to know more about your offers? Or are they wanting to comment on your posts? Does that post make people want to comment? Remember that social media is social, and that's exactly what your content should be doing, generating conversations. And then finally, content systems. I told you that I spent 2 years doing my full-time job alongside with Talk to Me, or even before Talk to Me, I was already creating content. And having content systems in place was really the thing that managed to make me stay on track with my content creation, that made me keep growing Talk to Me to what it is today. All right. So let's make sure that you're creating content systems, that you are identifying ideas on your day to day life rather than stopping, for example, to look for ideas. So, where are these ideas coming from? Instead of doom scrolling on social media, how about we start analyzing the content that we are watching, right? When you pick up your phone first thing in the morning, start analyzing what you're seeing. Why did that perform? Why did it work? Why did I stop to watch it? Those questions are so important. And the more you ask them, the more you will the more you ask them, the more you will get feedback from it. Interesting. My sound, I wonder why my sound is not good if I'm using the same microphone as I used yesterday. Is the sound still bad? Let me know. Because if it is, I will change my microphone here and I will put another one. Because I have lots of different microphones. Let me know about it. But while you let me know about it, I will start talking. It's popping. The Instagram one is fine. Okay. Let's remove this microphone and put another one. How about now? Is it better? Is it better now? Let me know. So, your most powerful weapon to create carousels. Let's get started. Like we said, 5 minutes to do a little wrap up from yesterday. Better? Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cool. So let's get started with your most powerful weapon to create carousels. And a lot of people are probably thinking, well, then it's Canva, right? It's Canva, or it's Chat GPT, or it's, I don't even know. Give your best shots in the captions there. What is the most powerful weapon? The first thing that comes to your mind. Is it the having a graphic designer to design your things? What is the most powerful weapon that we can have? And it's crazy because you can use lots of different weapons and tools and equipment, and here we have some people saying Canva, but in reality the most powerful weapon you can possibly have to create your carousels is you, right? And that sounds so cliche. It's like, oh no, May, come on. Come on. Let's just stop this live right now. Let's go to the pub, where I'm in Ireland anyways. No, no, listen to me. Listen to me. Exactly. Chris got it right. Ivy got it right. It's you. Because if social media is social, then your most powerful weapon is you, right? And this is exactly why, because your audience will connect to your brand. And if you have a personal brand, they will connect to you, right? And then they will go on to your offers. Okay, so you need to use your most powerful weapon before anything else, because otherwise you build a page around a single product or a single offer, and then when you expand, what happens? You can't expand because people like you for that single offer. They don't like you for who you are. They don't like you for your brand. They like you because you sell something that is, I don't know, that solves a problem, and that's it. Okay, but there's no in-depth connection there. If you ever decide to pivot niches, if you ever decide to change your business, how do you keep that going? By building that connection, by being you in your posts. Okay, and why do we need to use that super weapon? Because today, more than ever, we have two threats. Okay, I'm talking from a small business perspective or even a medium-sized business perspective. The first threat we have is a threat in the content creation world, which of course is a threat depending on how you use it, okay, or how you don't use it. So ChatGPT, Google, YouTube, the AI in general, these are all threats, because today I can literally go on ChatGPT and I can write, give me a marketing plan, or tell me how to bake a cake, give me a fertility diet, and it will give me a step-by-step thing, right? Because that's what it does best. It gives tech stuff, and even Bard from Google or whatever. So if you're competing with those guys by giving the best tips, you lost. You already lost. Similarly, if you talk about your offers, how do you compete with, number one, gigantic influencers? Okay, so how do you compete with people that have 200,000 in the same niche as you? If we were to think about offers, you can't compete, right? How do you compete with AliExpress if you sell products? Amazon. How do you compete with Udemy, the course platform? How do you compete with, I don't know, influencers that have millions of followers? You can't. The only way you can compete is by differentiating yourself and then showing who you really are. Okay. And Heather saying, this is interesting. I have always been told to focus my content on the offer and not share my personality. And look at how much we are looking at these things online. And it always goes back to one question that I always think, okay? If we are thinking about our offer and promoting our offer, which we have to do, okay, 100% we have to promote our offers, but who relates to an offer? Does anybody here, if I'm selling, let's say, if I'm selling phones, does anybody here relate to a phone? Does anybody here relate to a glass of water, to a hairbrush? Nobody relates to that. They relate to the narratives we tell behind them. They relate to the ideals that we share. They relate to why we created it, to who we are, what we stand for, right? They relate to all of those things first, and then they want their problem solved. So when we talk about sharing what makes you unique, here are 6 different ways that you can do this. So the first one is through personal stories, right? So sharing personal stories that are part of your world, that are part of your how you started your business, that are part of what you believe in, your opinions. Okay, so your opinions, when I say opinions, people generally think that when you share an opinion, you need to be pointing fingers and then you're going to attract haters. And that's not necessarily the case. I can have an opinion, for example, just pulling an opinion out of nowhere, that I don't believe in virality. Okay, so if I don't believe in virality, I don't have to be pointing fingers at anybody. I'm just going to be saying, look, this is why I don't believe that you should be going after viral content. This is what I've seen happen in the industry. This is what happened to me. This is what's going on right now. So I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. Exactly. Look at Squeaky's Cauldron. Love that name, by the way. Apple is an expert at this, creating narratives and values behind the product. They are, because people buy the narrative. They don't buy the product. They buy the benefits, but only when the benefits are put in a narrative. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Social media is not like your website that you need to show features and benefits and all that kind of stuff. You need to sell the narrative. Then, what you stand for, lessons learned, how you do things. I think I duplicated things. So actually here it should have been past experiences, okay? So past experiences are really good to build credibility. What did you do in the past that made you learn? Okay, so all of these, uh, all of this, all of these things are going to bring depth. And remember, anything that brings depth brings our customer down the funnel. That is super important. Okay, so I hope you have the Canva slides that we shared with you yesterday. Okay, because today we're gonna be doing an exercise. Now, don't worry about them right now. What I would like you to do is to grab your notebook, iPad, whatever it is, grab that and let's start writing down how your carousel is gonna turn out. Because today we're gonna create a carousel that is going to tell your story. Okay, we're gonna tell your story to your audience, and then totally up to you, but I would recommend pinning that carousel to your profile. And when you pin that carousel to your profile, you can have a carousel there for months, okay? Until you decide to tell that story again. But pinning it there means that everybody that visits your profile is going to see that story regardless of when they reach your account, okay? So we're going to be using the Master of Carousels methodology to create this carousel today. Enjoy. It is a methodology that it's purely based on storytelling and it's purely based on differentiating us. All right. So here's what I mean. Pin it to your profile. If you don't know how to pin it to your profile, ask me afterwards, send me a DM, but essentially just click on the three dots on your post and then just select pin. Is super easy. Okay, we're gonna go step by step, team. Like today is gonna be like easy peasy because I want you to come out of here with something that you're gonna create. And I want you to create this. Send it to me. Send it to me. Let's talk about it. Let me see it. Okay, let me see your story. And your story needs to generate emotions. Okay, because that's what a personal story needs to do. We're having lots of comments here. Let's see. Najwa is saying, hi, Najwa. Should personal stories have something that the audience can learn from? Or is it just for engagement and connection? Brilliant question, Najwa. I just finished editing a lesson for Master of Carousels that we have a slide that talks about exactly that. It depends. If it's a personal story that we're talking about here, for example, this is just my story, how I started. This is purely inspiration, okay? We don't need to teach. If it's a niche related story that we're using our past experiences, then let's teach something, okay? But if we are looking for connection, if it's not really niche related, not related to our offers, it's totally fine to not teach anything. Now, remember that teaching doesn't always mean to share tips like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Teaching can mean sharing a big lesson from the end of a story. So think about Little Red Riding Hood or the I don't know exactly the names in English, Snow White or something. What are the lessons? Nobody stopped to tell you tip number 1, don't talk to strangers. Tip number 2, don't eat apples. No, the takeaway is at the end, right? You already understood just by looking at the story. So there is also the concept there of what is a tip, okay? And tips are generally inside the story. All right, so page number 1. Let's get our pen and paper. And page number 1, I'm bringing to you 4 different types of hooks. You can pick one of these, or you can pick your own. Okay, totally up to you. So it could be, hi, I'm X, and this is my story. This is how company name was born. This is more formal. If you want a more formal vibe, I recommend going with that. If you know me for my content, now know me for my story. That's a hook I used in the past. I absolutely love it. It's a little bit longer than what I generally like, but it's still very, very good. And then if you are a big celebrity, go for the last one. Who is Mayara Castillo? I would never say that, but if you are a big celebrity, super famous, go for it. Otherwise, I love the first 3. I have a client that put how I became and then their brand name, because they have a personal brand. I have another client that she's a wedding celebrant, so let's say, hi, I'm Anna, your wedding celebrant. So you can you can play around with this page 1. All right, cool. So all good on page 1. Then let's go to page number 2. Page number 2, I'm always putting the templates that you can use on the left, and then some ideas of pages on the right. Remember what we talked about in terms of page number 2. We talked about talking about the importance, showing the importance of your content, why they should listen to you, a little bit of background. So that's exactly what I'm doing. If you look at the more cream one with the faded page, that is my second page of my carousel. So I start by saying, you probably know me for the killer content strategies I share, or perhaps you've talked to one of my past clients and found me, but here's what you may not know about me. Okay, so that is my second page. But I have a client, for example, who applies the Master of Carousel method, and her second page was, ever sat through a wedding ceremony and thought it was a touch impersonal? Maybe it lacked sentiment and humor, or felt the same as everybody else? I get it. So you just want to bring a little bit of context as to what happened in your story, why you're sharing it, and kind of like, or even why you started. This second page, my wedding celebrant client who uses our Master of Carousels methodology, she was essentially talking about the reason why she started her business. This is exactly why she started, because she was the last of her friends to get married. And so she sat through many ceremonies, and every single one of the ceremonies were extremely similar and dull. Okay. So then once we finish off with that, then we go on to pages 3 and 4. Before we go on to pages 3 and 4, let's look at the questions in the chat. Okay, so any suggestions for me? My sister and I both run our business, so I don't know how to tie both of us in. The story, Jessica, has to be about your business. So I would say, this is how business name was born, would be a great hook for you. That would work very well. And then you can introduce yourself and your sister in the second page, right after your hook, and then talk about why you started your business. What did life look like before? Okay. Then your story will become very much about the business, but you're still talking about you and your sister very early on. Okay, so let's continue on to pages number 3 and 4. So page number 1, we saw some hook options. Page number 2, we saw why you should listen to me, a little bit of background. You could even get started by already talking about the past. And by the way, team, if you want to get these slides, don't forget to join our WhatsApp group. I am sharing the link to the WhatsApp group in the comments right now. Okay, so then for page 3, I'm already starting with, before teaching content creation, I was an engineer who made videos as a hobby. I'm talking about the life before. And that's how I would recommend you start your carousels. Talk about the life before, right? You're about you anyways. Then we continue the story. In 2020, during a walk around my town, I noticed many businesses struggling to sell and stay open. Without even thinking, I dropped all my hobbies and started making videos for them for free. So what happens in this story right here? It is a story, so a story needs to have a problem. Okay? So here I'm bringing a problem. I noticed many businesses were struggling to sell and stay open. Without even thinking, I dropped all my hobbies and started making videos for them for free. So, what was my solution to that problem? So, when you are writing, I want you to think of what was the life before, what was the problem, and what was your solution. Okay. And generally, your solution has to be your business, right? It can be, so just reading the comments here, isn't it more amazing? Is asking us, is it a reel? It is a reel, so I'll make a carousel now. Yes, absolutely. So if you already have a reel talking about your story, you can also create a carousel. What I would recommend is, team, if you're thinking, okay, May, if I'm telling my story in a carousel, what can I share as a reel? As a reel, I would recommend sticking more to quick transformations, quick before and after, life before, life after, problem, solution. Okay, some really emotional bits. For the carousel, take your time and tell your story slide by slide, involve people. Okay, carousels are beautiful in that way. You have time. So we talked about the life before, we talked about the problem, we talked about your solution, which is going to be your business, right? Then what is happening from then I continue on there at the very bottom right. These videos worked so well that my first 3 videos led to my first 3 paying clients, and Talk to May was born. Could I have gone on and talked about Talk to May in a lot more detail? The problem, I could have talked about the problem in a lot more detail, but I chose to keep it simple. I chose to keep it very short. And why, you're gonna understand in the next slide. But I'm just here giving you the option that if you want to expand this story, say make your problem an entire slide, do it. Okay, if that's what you want, do it. Perfect. So that is pages, those are pages 3 and 4. And I saw a question here in the chat that I really want to address, because this is a very difficult question to see. It's a very difficult question to see. In the case of beginners, will people be interested in knowing our story? I would say 100%. If not now, then maybe later. Remember that everybody was a beginner at the start. Okay, so it won't hurt you in any way, shape, or form to have your story pinned to your profile. If anything, it's going to build your credibility a lot. So what I would love you to think about, what is your account going to look like in 5 months time, 6 months time, okay? And you're not going to be a beginner then. So then people will be, sure, commenting, engaging, liking, whatever, but remember that the first person that has to be proud of your story is you, right? Okay. Then we go on to page number 5. And in terms of words, team, I would just not overload your slide with text. Your slides have to be very visual, as little text as possible. Just the necessary, not more. Okay? 1 paragraph is great. 2 paragraphs, it's okay as well. 3 paragraphs, only if they're short, right? So don't overdo it with text. So on page number 5, since we talked about the life before, we talked about the problem, we talked about the solution that you started your business, what is missing? The actual current life right now. Okay, so it's missing your current life. So today, reading my page on the carousel there on the right, today I have expanded my business to content creation and storytelling, teaching and consulting, having helped over 1,000 business owners with their content and their strategy. So I'm just talking about the life after. Why does this page exist? It exists not only to build credibility, right? I went from making 3 free videos to getting 3 clients to getting 1,000. And that builds a lot of credibility, but also to explain what I do today. What is it that you actually do? And that's very important because, guys, if you go to Instagram today and you try to look at people's pages and guess what they do, you're going to be surprised by how many people you have no clue what they do because they're not clear themselves. It is insane. I tried doing that exercise last month when I was looking for a UGC creator for a client. It's impossible to find a good UGC creator, like just by looking on social media. People are not clear at all on what they do. They don't explain. There's no portfolio. There's absolutely nothing, not even saying that they're UGC creators sometimes. So don't make that mistake. Be extremely clear what you do, who you're targeting, if needed, where you're based. Okay, that's where storytelling requires you to bring that business side of things as well, not just the emotions. So think about your life after. And then this is the fun part where I think it's really nice and it really connects people to us. This is exactly why I kept the story short. I kept the story to 5 pages because afterwards I want us to talk a little bit about ourselves, about who we are, what we believe in, what we don't believe in. And those things are curiosities more than anything. We don't need to get too technical about them, but it really helps if we are bringing a little bit of our personality to our page. So about me, then I'm putting lots of little arrows. You have that exact design. All you need to do is change my picture, please, or people will think that you're creating a carousel about a random lady that just appeared on your profile. And then just put what you love or who you are in the little arrows. It's such a fun way to show connecting points with your audience. So I love putting that I'm Brazilian because, first, because it's true, but second, because there are many Brazilian people following me and they have no clue that I'm Brazilian. I love putting that I live in Ireland because lots of my clients live in Ireland. I am an ex-engineer. I speak 3 languages. I love singing and painting. I love traveling. So these are conversation starters um, with my followers, with my team. So then we have pages 7 and 8. And pages 7 and 8, let me make this bigger for us here. I put them there because they're also connecting points, and I think they're going to be really good additions to your account. So I believe that, and I would stick to 4 points max, like max. If you can make it 3, even better. So here you're going to put what you believe in. Okay, truly, truly believe in regards to your niche, in regards to maybe your values, but make sure that you are putting your audience inside. So I'll read just the first one for you there. I believe that experts deserve to become leaders that get seen and make sales. Okay, so that is something I strongly believe in, and that is the first thing I'm going to put there. Now, let's take a look at I don't believe that. I don't believe that you can get results without making an effort to connect with those around you. And that is what we've been talking about so much, right? During our class number 1, but also our class number 2. So I'd like you to think about, what is it on your pages 7 and 8? What is it that you believe in, and what is it that you don't believe in? And if you tell me, no, May, actually, I'd like to spend more pages talking about my story and less about the rest, what do I remove? I would say remove those. Okay, remove those 2, and then add those 2 extra pages to your story if that's what you want. But if you want to do like me and you want to talk about your beliefs and all of that, then those are your pages 7 and 8. Okay, any questions about pages 7 and 8? And I see here we have also Julie, who's also Brazilian and French. That is insane. I can't believe it. That is such a coincidence. Let's see, any more questions? I see that some people are already answering other people's questions in the comments. I love that, team. This is so nice. Like, this is so good. This is the connection that we need. Okay, let's continue on then. I added an extra page as well that talks about what you are bringing as transformations, okay? So direct transformations that your offers sell or that your offers give. So, and since you're here, let's start. So I'll just read the first 2. Selling your offers through your content, website, and emails with ease, building a community around you that adores your brand. Okay, so finding your style so you can show up confidently as yourself. There are many, but I would recommend sticking to 3, maybe if they're very, very different, put 5, but don't put an entire page of different things. Okay, don't put an entire page of, let's say, and since you're here, let's start, I don't know, having beautiful hair and then drinking more water. What? No. Let's focus on the end transformation. What do they ultimately want? Remember, we talked about their ultimate goals on class 1. So that's what we want to bring here. What are these ultimate goals or ultimate problems that you solve or that you fulfill if they have desires? That's exactly what I want here. Okay. I don't want you to straight away throw in your offers unless it's something that you really need to specify, like the last one. I really need to specify to people that I offer this because people just don't understand. But which is training your in your team to create kick-ass content for your business. But if it's something pretty standard that you offer, I don't want you to put your offers then and there right now because it's not the time to sell. They're not down the funnel yet. Your sales will come from your hybrid carousels, from your conversion content, even from your Instagram stories, from your sales funnel on your website. So not from an about you, okay? Carousel that you're pinning to your profile. You want them to see the transformations. Then we're going to create a carousel that talks about your offers if you want, or we're going to create a hybrid carousel that sells a very specific offer. Okay, and then finally we have page number 10. So nice to meet you. I'm May, or so happy to see you here. I am we are blah blah blah. We are Talk to May. You can present your team as well in the middle of your carousel. So kind of like we were talking about the 2 sisters, you can present yourself at the beginning if you created the business together, or if you have a team that you'd like to introduce, present them in the middle or right after you introduce the solution, the life after, and then you talk about your team, right? Because you can't bring your team at the start if they don't exist yet before you solved the problem. Does that make sense, team? Did that make sense? Did you manage to take some good notes about the framework? Because what I want you to do is, I have a challenge for you, but I'm going to tell you the challenge in a second. Let me give you some time to write what we just talked about. Okay, write down your ideas, write down everything, because it's super important that you have this carousel. Out of all carousels you create, it's super important that you nail down this carousel. But I'll give you a challenge right at the end of the class. And in the meantime, I know I've been talking a lot about Master of Carousels. So I'd like you to take a look at it inside and tell me what you think, actually. This is a program I've been working for the past month. And the people that have been working on this right alongside me know that they even had to put a stop because they said, May, you need to launch this, because I was always like, I was going against my own advice. I was like, this needs to be perfect. This needs to be perfect. It's a topic I love so much. It's a topic that can help people. And I was like, I need to include this. I need to change this class. I said, no, that's enough. A friend came to me and he said, stop. You need to move on with this. And finally, after delaying this launch for the past 6 months, here it is, and I'd love you to take a look at it. You'll be the first ones to take a look at this and tell me what you think. So, inside Master of Carousels, this is our platform team. This is the level of the platform. And let me make this bigger because this is so beautiful. This is the level of the platform that we're talking about. None of that ugly stuff that people see when they use those random platforms like Teachable. I don't know. I think Teachable is the worst platform in the world. But, anyways, that is our Master of Carousels platform, and it's so beautiful. We have 7 different modules that talk about carousels from start to finish, going through the 5 pillars that we talked about. Remember the 5 pillars of carousel creation? So that is exactly what we talk about here. So we go on from desire communication essentials, how you communicate with your audience, but how you communicate with your brand, our carousel framework, creating desired content, DM management. So how do you manage queries that you're going to be getting through your sales carousels, right? Or even through your sales content. This is so useful. Even if you get sales from your stories, from your reels, this class is going to help you regardless. Content systems. So my exact content methodology that I use during my 9 to 5. And then, of course, there's the bonuses. So let me know what you think. This course, by the way, Master of Carousels, it's more like a program. It's really a transformation. And we're going to be opening doors tomorrow, first for you, and before anybody else. So it's not open today. It's going to open tomorrow, right after our class, for you, for 1 hour before everybody else. I will let you know on the WhatsApp group, anyways, if you want to join. If you don't want, totally up to you. But for those who join, it means that you are ready to continue your journey and to continue learning carousels that really make an impact in your life, in your content creation, and in your business. Okay. My goal is to continue turning experts. I can't talk. My goal is to continue turning experts into leaders. And one of the ways that I'm going to do that is through strategic carousels. So, this whole platform, based on the amount of time I spent and knowledge and courses I had to learn and go through and all the failures I've had to be able to bring you this knowledge, is valued at 1,800 euros. Of course, that's not the price. We'll talk about that later. Just wanted to show you the inside of this classes, these 2 classes, which are 2 of my favorites. So this is module 3 with our carousel framework. And inside the carousel framework, what I like to do with my students, by the way, if you don't know, I was a teacher for 6 years before I graduated and went on to work on other things. But I used to be a teacher. So when I tell you that I know how to give a class, I think you're seeing it here, right? Then trust me. So module 3. Then on module 3, we're going to be seeing everything related to our carousel framework. So what is the carousel framework? Step by step. So we talked about steps 1 and 2, but what are the other steps? Then we're going to talk about attraction carousels, differentiation carousels, conversion carousels, and then hybrid carousels. We're going to start, by the way, team, touching on hybrid carousels tomorrow, which is going to be the best class you will get out of these 3 classes. If you are enjoying this class today, and by the way, we're going to have a challenge at the end, don't forget about the last class, because the last class we're going to start touching on hybrid carousels, and this is a methodology I don't see anybody else talking about. And I don't like throwing numbers, but hybrid carousels have managed to give me well beyond like tall 5 figures just this year, just from hybrid carousels, which is really insane considering that it's one type of content. One type of content. It's crazy. You'll learn more tomorrow. You'll learn more tomorrow. And then creating desired content, a lot of what we talked about, but a lot more in depth. So carousel hook mastery, how to create hooks that get people talking about your content and that get people in your content. Making your designs look sharp with Joe. I'm sure Joe is here today. I saw him earlier anyways. Writing using relatability. Okay, how do we create the right type of relatability for our audience? What I see a lot of people doing wrong with relatability, team, is this. They think relatability is being fun on reels. Okay, so being funny or fun and cool and relatable. So we have to mimic funny situations to be relatable for our audience. And that's not necessarily true. You need to start writing with relatability. And one of the ways that we talked about is using the words that belong to our audience's reality. So, what are these words, right? These words are, let's say, if you create reels, I'm going to direct my video talk, I'm going to talk about videos saying reels, not saying videos, right? So that's just one of the examples. But we have a lot more different topics that we cover inside writing with relatability. And then call to actions that work and sell, of course. So these are just 2 of our 6 modules. And of course, as you may know, I am also working with videos and reels. So believe me when I say that the quality of these videos are insane. It's not something that I recorded on Canva and threw there real quick. By far, I think that I spent way too much time creating these classes, but I really wanted to have something that you're going to see that is definitely going to stand the test of time. And then, of course, we have the 2 bonuses, carousels with ChatGPT. So how to create carousels with ChatGPT. And then ManyChat money bag. Does anybody here know what ManyChat is? Have you ever used it? Or have you ever seen my messages on my profile that you have to press a button or something like that? Because if you have, that's exactly what ManyChat is. It's a DM automation tool. And these DM automation tools, they can help you automate your messages to make life easier for you. So for example, if you are trying to get people to go to your sales page, to your email platform, or people to go to your sales page, or people to download a freebie, ManyChat does wonders, and I'm going to be teaching you my exact framework of um, how I connect it to my hybrid carousels to continue the sale on the DMs. I'm already spoiling tomorrow's class of how I generated over 1,500 email subscribers from a single carousel. We're going to talk about all of that inside ManyChat Money Bag, and you're going to see my exact frameworks. And of course, I value that as way beyond 400 euros, because the investment because this level of investment doesn't even compare with the earnings you can get from ManyChat alone. I'm not even talking about carousels. From ManyChat alone. Now, connecting ManyChat with your carousels gives you a game changer strategy. And then, of course, we have a few different guides. We have your brand voice guide with 15 different questions to nail down your brand voice in your words, 50 carousel hooks, just carousels, and then talking about differentiation carousels, extra ideas, extra ways to share your voice, your opinion step by step. So all of that is valued at 2,300 euros. But of course, I think that that would be, I know that people say, don't talk about, what do they say? Don't compete for price, and it doesn't matter how much you charge, blah, 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 blah. But the reality is that it would be quite hard for most of us to put this level of investment down, even though the returns that Carousel have given me are probably 10 times that. But my intention here goes much, much beyond just having a few people buying my course and doing a great job while everybody else is stuck, right? Stuck in the same ways, stuck in the same strategies, stuck in the same things that are not giving result and just wasting time when creating content. So I am creating this course for 393 euros. That is the price of the course. It is launching tomorrow. And for the first 24 hours, if you choose to join Master of Carousels, you're going to be getting it for 293 euros. So it's not 393. There's a 100 euros discount for the first 24 hours. So 1 hour after our class ends tomorrow, we will be launching it. Okay. And let me show you just the extra bonuses for 24 hours. For the first 3 people, you're going to be getting 1 hour strategy call with me. Okay, that is, it's crazy because that is already the price of the course. Then you're getting the 100 euros discount. Yes, exactly. Basically, the course is free. For the first 3 people, the course is free. So you're getting a 1 hour strategy call and you get the free course. And then you're getting a 2 hour workshop to find your content style. Okay. And then you get, of course, the chat GPT bonus and the ManyChat money back bonus. All right. So that is only for 24 hours. Once the 24 hours are gone, a lot of these bonuses are going to be gone too. Okay. After 24 hours, the 100 euros bonus is no longer there. The first 3 people bonus, you can forget about it, of course. And then the 2 hour workshop bonus is also going to be disappearing. So if you want to take your carousels to the next level, try to get in the first 24 hours, because I will not be giving many of these bonuses after that, and you will have a chance to be one of the first 3 people, because you're gonna get the link to join 1 hour before everybody else does, right? So I did mention that I was going to give you a challenge, and I will. Before our class tomorrow, okay, before we start our class tomorrow, which, by the way, is called the Victory Plan, and we're going to be talking about sales carousels, because we can't generate connection for nothing, right? We want to generate connection to eventually sell. But before we start our class tomorrow, I have a challenge for you. So on your notebook, on your iPad, wherever you have a full carousel, or you have at least notes of how to create that carousel. I want that carousel done by tomorrow, done and posted, okay? On your profile for everybody to see. If you want to tag me in the comments for me to see it, send it to me by DM, whatever it is, do that carousel. Don't procrastinate. Don't overthink, because worst case scenario, if you do it wrong, you will know how to do it right the next time, and you just post it again a month later. That's fine. So, are you up for the challenge? Are you up for creating this carousel using the templates that I gave you, using all the information that I gave you, the step by step? If you are up for the challenge, I really want you to see. I really want to see your carousel. And I am going to be part of this challenge too, okay, team? So what I'm doing is I am posting my own carousel right after this class. So if you want to just say hello, right? Say hello there in the comments. Simply type, I was there. Okay, so if you type, I was there, I will know that you were in our class. Okay, so I will be sharing this. I will be sharing this right after our class ends. Now, let me take a look at the chat before we finish up, because I see that there are some questions. Okay, let's see. Jacqueline is saying, can you please talk more about ideas for the last page for a business? So Jacqueline is asking us for calls to action for to finish off if you're telling a business story. So Jacqueline, for your call to action, I would stick to so nice to see you here. We are blah blah blah, and we'll be happy to, you can tailor that last verb depending on what you are. So for example, if you're a restaurant, so nice to see you here. We are Papa Rich, and we'll be happy to serve you with the best meals in, I don't know, in Washington. I don't know, just pulled a name out of nowhere, with the best Asian meals in Washington. Okay, so, or you can just say, if you're a personal brand, nice to see you here. I'm Anne, I am Joanna, I'm whoever I am. Or if you are a business, like let's say one of my past clients, Noted Ireland, we can say, so nice to see you here. We'll be happy to help you with anything related to your wedding, any of your wedding needs, whatever it is. So I hope these calls to action helped you think a little bit about what you share in terms of business. And then let's see, having more frameworks make it easier and more fun. Of course, it always does, always, and it makes things so much time saving. Okay, so we have a good question here. Will we have your feedback? Let's see if I can share this question. Will this course have your feedback in what we create along our journey in learning more about carousels? Actually, we're going to have a Facebook community where you're going to be able to ask questions, network. Maybe if you have any queries, that's where the Facebook community is going to be guiding you. And we're going to be there in the Facebook community as well. So it's always going to be monitored by either me or my assistant, and we'll be there to answer questions. Now, I don't know if I can guarantee that I can see everybody's carousel and edit everybody's carousel. That's essentially what I do for my one-to-one clients. But inside the community, you're going to be able to share your biggest questions. And if something didn't work and you don't understand why, share it in the community, ask in the community. Okay, we'll be happy to help you. Okay, let's see more comments. Oh yeah, let's see. I'm up. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not for tomorrow, but I will. How often do you suggest to post an about me? Okay, Najwa, I at least want to see the carousel. I want to see your ideas, because I think you have lots of good ideas to share, and I'd love to see it. And how often do you suggest to post an about me? This is a brilliant question, team. I would suggest you post an about me every time your brand evolves. Okay, there's no point in repeating the same conversation over and over again, but every time your brand evolves, it's a good idea to evolve the story with it. So if instead of 1,000 clients, you have served 1,500 clients, change that. If instead of posting, I don't know, if instead of talking about helping your clients with just A, now you help with A and B, change your carousel again. I hope this helps. And Chris, tomorrow team, we're going to be explaining all about hybrid carousels. So stay tuned because it's going to be our sales class tomorrow. Perfect. So, team, that's exactly it. So, remember that tomorrow at 6 p.m. as well, right after our best and final class, which we're going to be talking about sales, we're going to be opening Master of Carousels. We'll be sending you the link. Don't worry about it. You're going to get everything in the WhatsApp group, but also on the emails. Okay. But be in the WhatsApp group because the WhatsApp group will get it before everybody else. The emails will get it with everyone else, but the WhatsApp group will get it before everybody else. And once those 3 spots are gone, they're gone. I will share with you the link once again to, there you go. It's in the chat. Join our WhatsApp group. We're sending reminders about all the classes. And oh yeah, this is a great question. If we're gonna have payment plans. Right now, we don't have a specific payment plan, but if you DM us, we are always happy to accommodate your needs. Okay, so we're going to do this on a need basis first. So if you need a payment plan, we'll be more than happy to help you with that. Will tomorrow be useful if you're not selling a product? Now, it will be useful if you're selling an offer, anything in terms of a service, coaching, products. As long as you're selling something, you're making money, tomorrow will be useful. If you're not selling anything, tomorrow won't be useful for you. Basically, you'd have to be a business. Can I touch your hair? Sure, come to Ireland. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Send us a DM and we'll be happy to help you with payment plans. That is, we're happy to accommodate you. Team, thank you so much. I'd love to see your carousels. And remember, I'm going to be posting my carousel. I'd love to see some people that were here. Let's have a chat there. And just type, I was there. And tomorrow, be ready for our best class. Let's learn how to sell with your carousels, how to use hybrid carousels, and how to make all that connection worth it. Okay? I will be seeing you all tomorrow and enjoy your evening, your day. Thank you so much for helping me with all the tech stuff at the start. Thank you once again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.